am Daniel Defoe, a famous writer in the Renaissance. My stories, Moll Flanders and Robinson Crusoe, influenced many people, and people still learn from them today. They were some of the first English novels ever made. My masterpiece is a smaller version of my most famous story, Robinson Crusoe. My barter item is also this, just even smaller. My guild sign contains a portrait of me, my name, as well as my birth date, 1660, to my death date, 1731. My display board contains a portrait of me, as well as some information about me. I wrote over 500 various books, journals, and pamphlets. I was born in London, and I was educated at Reverend James Fisher's boarding school. My most famous story, Robinson Crusoe, was published on April 25th, 1719. It was originally named The Life and Strange Surprising Adventures of Robinson Crusoe of York, Mariner, who lived 28 years all alone in an uninhabited island on the coast of America near the mouth of the great river Oronk, having been cast on shore by shipwreck, wherein all men perished but himself. With an account, he was at last strangely delivered by pirates. Another one of my most famous stories, Moll Flanders, was first published in 1722. The original title was The Fortunes and Misfortunes of the Famous Moll Flanders, who was born in Newgate, and during a life of continued variety, 80 years besides her childhood, 5 times a wife, whereof once to her brother, 12 a thief, 8 a transported felon in Virginia, at last grew rich, lived honest, and died a penitent, written from her own memorandums. It was not as popular as Robinson Crusoe, and it was hoped to be believed as nonfiction. My social status, I was of the middle class. I am dressed this way because I was not rich nor poor. I, as a matter of fact, made a list of social statuses in 1709, ranging from number 1, the great, to number 7, the miserable. I was number 3. My life was not terrible, but my mother did die when I was 10, and I failed in the merchant business, but succeeded in writing. That was my oral presentation. Thanks.